Hello inflatable fans and cheeky campers. See that big gate behind me? I was hoping that'd be open because my plan was to camp down by the Derwent here and go off for an early morning launch tomorrow. I was going to do a bit of a car camp. It's currently 5:20 p.m. and I was hoping to get on there. Well, those gates are closed at 4 o'clock apparently. And I was looking at this car park as somewhere where I might be able to just, well, you know, park the car and stay the night. It does say on gopaddling.com that you can launch from here. And on Google Maps I saw there's like a pontoon down there and it mentions a pontoon, but I can't see yet where I could launch anyway. So I'm just having a bit of a scout round. That power station over there that you can see, that's Drax. And this, as I say, this is the River Derwent down here, and this is the connection point with the River Ouse. I was really hopeful I was going to be able to do this because it's a really warm end of September evening. And you know what it's like when you get those, you want to capitalise on them, right? So this looks like some kind of bridge or lock, because I'm guessing that over there, well, that is the River Ouse over there. So that's tidal. And what this lock does is stop the River Derwent from being tidal. Now I'm not seeing anywhere so far that's launchable. And these here, these will be the tidal gates, and these are the gates on the other side. And that's the Derwent. I think what I'll do is I'm going to have a walk back along the way I've just come, along there, and see if I can find, at least find the launch point. Because if I can, then I'm going to try and find somewhere to spend the night in the car. Now what's that through there? Right, okay. So that's a launchable pontoon. And looking at it, there are several of these. Although that one is considerably higher out of the water than the one I've just looked at. Here's another one. Can you see all those ripples there? I've just seen a fish come out of the water. It says no unauthorized access and no swimming on those gates. As you can see from the shadows, it is a lovely evening. And yes, there are several of these. That first one that I came across looks like the best one to launch from. I mean, that's really high. And there's a building just up there, and I'm parked near there at the moment. Well, a bit further in actually. But I was thinking I might be able to park outside that building. I mean, look at that. All around here is just rural countryside. And what I want to do is, about 5 miles in that direction is the Brighton ferry. And I want to paddle from here up to there and then back. You see, what I'm actually thinking and wondering is, can I get away with parking there for the night? I'm just actually wandering back down. I just want to have another look around. I have to say, it is lovely around here. It's giving me the itch more and more to want to do this. But equally, I'm willing to bet that those gates don't open till about 8 o'clock tomorrow. And I would want to be well on my way by then, Sunrise is about 7 AM. So I'd want to be getting ready from 6 and on the water for 7, if not before, because it'll be daylight before then. What to do? Well, fortune favours the bold. I was having a meander round this area behind me here, bumped into a chap and asked him if he was a key holder for the gates. He said no, but if I knock on a door and talk to a chap called Steve, he's the key holder for the gates. Just had a lovely chat with with Steve, who's a lovely chap, and I told him what I wanted to do, and he said absolutely fine. So I'm just going now to get the car. Game on! Game on! Quite excited now. Right, let's just talk you through my setup in here. Now, if you remember my Lake District trip, the kayak was huge and it overtook and swamped a lot of the car. This one is the GoPlus, the cheapest drop stitch kayak I found on eBay. I'm taking that one out tomorrow. Then I've got my cooking gear and some paddling gear here too. I've got more space in the bed this time. In here is my U-Loft, Trekology U-Loft mat. I've had this inflated since I popped it in the car several months ago. Well, not several months, several weeks ago, about 6 weeks ago, and it's still inflated, which is really good. Normal bedding because I'm in a car, why wouldn't you? And that's it really. So, should be good. I'm going to be launching from over there, and actually thinking about it, I might even move the car to the other side. Right, so I've moved to the other side, because then I can sit on one of these rocks, set my little table up in front, and cook my tea there. One of the things I do want to show you, which is an absolute winner for being here. Public toilets, and they're unlocked. Yes! So that's tonight's chicken slop. It might not look like much, but it's hitting the spot, and that's all that really matters. I honestly can't tell you just how fortunate I feel right at this moment in time. I'm in a very, very quiet area. It's all just B roads that come to dead ends. So there's no through roads in this area. Yeah, I do. I just feel really fortunate, and I'm going to get to go out tomorrow morning and have a lovely paddle on the Derwent, from the very end of the Derwent, where the Derwent meets the Ouse, and paddle up, all being well, to the Brayton ferry, where I've launched from before, which is about 5 miles upriver. So yeah, so that's the plan. Very fortunate. Anyway, enough of that. It's time for the good stuff. Hot chocolate and biscuits. Oh yeah. "7:20 and it's starting to come in dark. There is a nice sunset going on over there. But I'm going to settle into my car, I think. I'm getting everything set up in there. What do you think of this, eh? A company called Highover have sent it to me to try out. A little, it's a beanie hat with a built-in head torch. I will be doing a full review on it, but tell you what, the hat bit certainly is warm, and the head torch bit seems alright as well. Hello. Well, I'm in my nest, in the car, and it's like there's some weird form of deja vu going on. Because the last time I did this, the last time I slept in my car was on Filey Clifftop. Doing the same thing, car camp and paddle. And that very same night, oldest friend released one of his videos. In fact, that was the last video, the last camping video he actually uploaded. And tonight, several weeks later, he's uploaded another one. Great, something to watch while I'm here. Good morning, inflatable fans. Slept alright in there. 6:30 in the morning. Time to make some coffee, get set up, let's get paddling. Looking forward to this. Right, it's time to get on the water. Right, well it's 7:30. I'll show you the launch point. It is a little bit high, so it was a bit of a chew getting in and getting the boat set up, but on the water, let's get paddling. Some of these other little launch pontoons are considerably higher still. I launched off the lowest one, lowest I could find anyway. I'll just give you a little update on my thoughts of this craft, because this is my third outing in it. And as you saw, I had to carry it from the car quite a distance to the water. I say quite a distance, about 100 yards. And in my original reviews and thoughts, I'd mentioned about it not having handles on the sides. They really wouldn't have made any difference. If there'd been a side carry handle, I'd have ended up dragging the boat on the floor. So yeah, I'm going to retract that comment. What I will say about this is it's nimble on the water, very nimble. So just going at a steady paddling pace like this, the GPS is showing me that I'm doing 3.1, 3.2 miles an hour. Now granted, the Derwent is low flow. I am paddling against the current, but it's not heavy current. But it is a lovely morning, and it's great being out of the water. Good morning. It's very quiet and very still. So I'm not paddling at the moment, and I'm still drifting upriver. If this was on the ooze, the current would have already started to take me in the other direction. You can tell how still this water is, can't you, by the reflections? There doesn't seem to be enough wind to move that. Maybe it's running on electricity. Just over there, there are some really long buildings. I wonder what they're for. Well, they're not very chatty, are they? Does anybody know what that is? Or what it's likely to be? Ruddy ugly. Whatever it is. A few dragonflies milling around. There it is. I can see the reflect. There it is. Can you see it? Ooh, a bridge. I wonder what that connects. It's not a busy bridge. I've only seen 2 or 3 cars pass over it. Quite a big one though. That's what she said. So 48 minutes, done a couple of miles. Time for a little coffee break. I'm constantly hitting 3 miles an hour as shown on the Garmin e-Tracks. The reason why the average speed is lower than that is because I keep stopping to film bits. But that's okay. Oh, That's nice, little drop of coffee. Just been having a bit of a chat with a fisherman as well. He's just got here and plopped in, I think he said his expression, was. There's a little bit of a breeze milling around. But it's not like the other day when I was out with Roadkill. That was a strong wind. Incidentally, Mart, I've seen a few ducks, just not got them on film yet. Nosy cows. Looks like we've got another bridge coming up. And that one looks like a rail bridge. In case you haven't gathered, with the amount of cattle we've passed and so on, I'm actually paddling through very agricultural area. It's very much farmland, is all this surrounding me. I was right, it is a rail bridge. Now this is definitely what you'd call a copse. A lovely little copse. Mostly birch trees. Yeah, that is really pretty. Wonder if I could get a hammock in there. Always looking. Right, I've just lifted the camera up out of the boat because I'm curious as to what that building is there. It looks like some form of castle. It does, it looks like some form of castle. I'm really intrigued. Whilst this is a lovely stretch of water to paddle, it's not an awful lot to see. It's just very quiet. Very serene, very green. It's kind of interesting to see what this looks like in the winter months when all the reeds and stuff have died back and the trees are barer. I would imagine it'd look quite barren. There's a swan on the water in front of me, a little bit further up the river. I am travelling faster than it. It looks like a young swan because I'm not seeing any or much white plumage. Actually, might not even be a swan, don't know yet. Soon see, I guess. Oh, that were a really big duck. There it goes. Young swan. So we're actually really close to where we're going this morning. I'll put this up on the screen. As you can see in the top left hand corner of the map, there is, well, you can just see the words ferry and unferry. And we're just paddling at the moment adjacent to the road that heads into Brayton from the south. And we're heading to Brayton Ferry. Where I think, well, when I say I think, what I mean is, where I know, I'm going to pull up and cook some breakfast. Hell yeah! Because I'm getting hungry. Looks like there's been a few martins nesting in that bank. There might have been pine martins. Hey, Roadkill. If anybody's seen that video, you'll know what I mean. Where Roadkill accidentally mistook, well, I say mistook, called sand martins pine martins. Anyway, on the subject of roadkill, hi roadkill. I can say that quite literally because he won't even watch this. He barely watches anything I do. Morning, oldest friend. Afternoon, oldest friend, depending on when it is when you watch this. If you haven't checked out his channel, he's got one called @WitWilsey, and he's currently experimenting with an Insta360 camera. See how he gets on with that. Morning, Brad. More than just a cleaner's top fan. I know he is because it says it in his name, in his YouTube name. And Mart, sorry I've not been able to capture any ducks on film yet, and I'm probably going to hyperlapse the journey back, so they'll probably be on there, but just really quickly. Claire's another new regular commenter, as is Mark Lloyd. How are you doing, Mark? How are the gators in Florida? Hope you've still got both your legs. And yeah, just like to say hello to all the new subscribers, and well, all the subscribers really. I really appreciate the fact that you stick around and come with me on these little adventures. And you seem to like some of the other stuff I do as well. I haven't done much cleaning stuff in a while, mostly because it's been the time of year to do more outdoor fun stuff. And also that seems to be the stuff that people enjoy on the channel more. So there is a real likelihood that the channel will veer in that direction. Which is fine, because I really enjoy this too. So yeah, any of you inflatable fans, feel free to say hello in the comments. Quite a few tents up on this right hand side. So we're approaching the Brayton ferry. Morning.
Morning.
All right.
You're going to stay dry then?
Go, sorry?
You're going to stay dry?
Supposedly. There we go, parked at the Brayton ferry. I'm going to cook breakfast here. Just want to point a couple of things about this boat. I've talked about that cushion before, absolutely fabulous things, done a review on that. Does now make paddling a lot more comfortable. What I've done with the footrest is I've taken it out of these. Did this about 5-10 minutes ago actually, just realised it was better. And actually just wedged it into the boat. I just find it gives me that bit more leg room. Regulars here will know that I often cook toasties on my little kayaking jaunts using the Ridge Monkey here, but today we're having, I think it's, might call it a rosti or something like that, and a bit of additional cheese to chuck in too. Let's have a quick look, see how it's doing. Oh, don't you just love that sound, eh? Oh, it's looking good, looking good. Good. Oh yeah. Gotta say, that breakfast was so good. Okay, well, I'm heading back in that direction now. Just gonna have a slurp of coffee. The wind is actually blowing me upriver. That's not a good sign. I'm sure it'll be fine. It's not a strong wind, and it's not in my face the whole direction because it's a bit windy. I think what I'll do is I'll set the camera on hyperlapse. just pulled into the shelter of some reeds for a bit, just to take a breather. It is unfortunate, it's one of those days where you're paddling straight into the wind. The great thing about this boat is it's not getting blown about because the sides aren't high, but obviously as you're paddling, I'm just on about a mile to a mile and a half directly into the wind, and obviously the wind's hitting me and that's slowing me down. While I'm here, I have got a shot of that castle thing on the bank and I am curious. Right, so it is a castle. It's called Wrestle Castle. I'll put some images and stuff up on the screen. But yeah, I had no idea that existed. Fascinating, the things you find out when you're on the water. Right, so I'm all done. Did about just shy of 10 miles. Boat performed really well. It was a bit of a struggle coming back in that headwind. Just unfortunate, but hey, takes your chances, don't you? I have just been asked by Steve, the chap, the gatekeeper here, just to let you know, this isn't an open site where anybody can just come, stay the night and paddle off the next morning. So don't expect to be able to rock up here and just sort of like camp over or whatever. There's no tent license, there's no camping license. We just did this as a bit of a favour because he knew I wanted to get on the water early doors. That's all for now. I hope you've enjoyed this little outing, as much as I have anyway. And thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed it, please give the video a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. If you like what I'm doing on the channel and you hit the subscribe button and click that bell notification, it doesn't cost you anything, which is fab. It just means when you open up YouTube, you get a notification whenever I've uploaded another video. And let's face it, you won't want to miss out, right? Okay, that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. You take care. Cheerio.